Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. La 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Remember that tune because you're going to be quizzed on it later in the ceremony. So as the song says, Shabbat Shalom, I'd like to welcome all of you with that greeting, Shabbat Shalom, and you can welcome us all back with the same greeting.
Shabbat Shalom.
We've got microphone issues here, so it seems to be the... Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay, one more time.
Shabbat Shalom.
Excellent. Welcome everybody here today. Welcome family. Raise your hand if you're family. Oh my goodness. Welcome friends of the grandparents. Okay. Welcome friends of mom and dad. Welcome friends of Leah. Trick question. Today we're all here for this very special occasion. Today Leah becomes a bat mitzvah, a daughter of the commandments. Today she says, I am an adult in the eyes of the Jewish religion. Today she says, I'm ready to observe all those commandments that are in the Torah. Who remembers that number? Who remembers? 613. That's good. You didn't have to do an extra 5. So. Okay. 613 commandments in the Torah. And of those 613, there are 365 negative commandments, things that you shouldn't do, and 248 positive commandments, things that you should do. There's also another way to look at those commandments. There's the easy commandments. So what would an easy commandment be? An observance commandment, like the candles on Shabbat, that would be an easy commandment. Hang a mezuzah on your door if you're Jewish, that would be an easy commandment. Blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that would be an easy commandment. So what would a hard one be? What'd you say, Matt?
Respect your parents.
Respect your parents. That's hard. Right, that's a hard one for everybody. Don't gossip, that would be another one. Don't insult people who are disadvantaged. Don't judge people unfairly. Pay your bills on time. Okay, so those are all commandments that are in the Torah, and they're a little harder to observe. So sometimes the ritual ones are the easy ones, but the moral ones are the more difficult ones. So now that you are a Jewish adult as of today, you're going to concentrate on the hard ones, but not today. Okay, today you get the day off. Today you're here to be a part of a bat mitzvah ceremony. Today there's going to be 4 features of bat mitzvah that you, Leah, are going to observe. You're going to have an aliyah for the first time, which means to come up and say the blessings from the Torah for the first time. You're going to give us your Devar Torah. your interpretation of the Torah portion. You're going to get some blessings. Would that be good? Yeah, blessings are good. It's always good to get some blessings. Today you're going to get many blessings. Parents are going to bless you. I'm going to bless you. And we as a whole community who are witnessing Leah become a bat mitzvah, we're all going to get a chance to bless Leah. And finally, you're going to have a party. Okay? All right. 2 hours. So as I like to say, the Seudat mitzvah, which is the bat mitzvah party, is the one feature that Jews have most scrupulously observed throughout the centuries. And today's going to do one too. So as I said, our job is to be witnesses. So we're all here we have to take our job very seriously. You have some wonderful friends back there, and very respectful, and I know they're going to be very excellent witnesses, as we all are. Today, Emily's going to lead us in her beautiful voice, and that tune that we heard, that Yai Lai Lai Lai, the second tune, is going to be sung throughout the ceremony. So by the end of the ceremony, you're going to be singing that song as you walk out. This would be a good time to silence your cell phones. And when we conclude the ceremony, if you would be so kind as to leave the prayer books on the seats, that would be great. There's also a wonderful additional handout that beautifully designed by Dana that you're welcome to take with you. But the prayer books I'm going to ask you to leave here, because we do use them for other things. Okay, so now we're going to turn in our prayer books to page 3. As Emily leads us in Hine Matov, a song from the Psalms, how good and pleasant it is for us all to dwell together in unity.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet ahim am yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet ahim am yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet ahim am yachad. Hine matovu manayim, shevet ahim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim, shevet ahim gam yachad.
In the middle of page 3, we all read together. How good the dwellings where we gather, serene and vibrant as the gardens, the rivers, the aloes, and the cedar trees. How good to sit together in peace. Most bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs are celebrated on Shabbat, the Jewish day of rest, which begins sundown on Friday night and concludes sundown on Saturday night. And as a matter of fact, at the conclusion of our ceremony today, we will take part in a small ceremony called Havdalah or Havdalah, which is that ceremony separating Shabbat from the rest of the week. So Shabbat gained great importance in Judaism about 2,000 years ago. Before that time, we had one central place of worship, one place where all Jewish people came to worship and show their thanks to God. And that was at the temple in Jerusalem. How many people have ever been to Israel and seen the remains of the temple to the wall, the western wall? Okay, so that was the one place where people went. So that temple was destroyed about 2,000 years ago. And when it was destroyed, then Jews were spread out all over the world. That was the beginning of what we call the diaspora, where people were dispersed. And schools of rabbis then were developed in all the countries where Jews had moved to. And the rabbis said, well, what are we going to do to keep ourselves connected, because we don't have our one place where we all got together. So we're going to make Shabbat a very, very important holiday in the Jewish religion. And it is a holiday. We get to celebrate it every week. It's not like Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur that's just once a year. Shabbat is a holiday that is celebrated every week. We're going to make it that one day where people can get together as families. They can get together as communities. They can pray in a synagogue where they want. And that Shabbat, that idea of celebrating Shabbat, has really been the one thing that has been constant in the Jewish religion for the past 2,000 years. There was a very famous poet, Ahad Ha'am, who said, more than Israel has kept the Sabbath has kept Israel. So here we are on Shabbat, okay? And we've all driven here and flown here and gotten ourselves all cleaned up, right? You look absolutely beautiful today. Beautiful manicure and dress. So today is the day when, now is the time when we still have our day of rest. It's our holy time. We're in this beautiful chapel together. This is our holy place, what's called our Makom Kadosh. So now we can relax for the rest of Shabbat. And we turn to page 4, and Leah leads us in the responsive reading, Let Us Rejoice.
Let us rejoice in the light of day, in the glory and warmth of the sun, in the reawakening of life to duty and labor.
We rejoice in the light of day.
In the quiet night with its rest from toil and its revelation of worlds beyond the dark.
We rejoice in the peace of night.
In the earth with its hills and valleys, its widespread fields of grain, its fruits and hidden treasures.
We rejoice in the beauty of earth.
We rejoice in the strength to win our daily bread, and in homes where we find refuge from the cold and storm.
We rejoice in the shelter of home.
In the love of fathers and mothers who have nurtured our lives, with whose blessings we have gone forth to our own work in the world.
We rejoice in the love of their hands.
In the children who bless our homes, whose eager minds and hearts are the promise of tomorrow.
We rejoice in our children.
In friends who share our sorrows and joys, in the fullness of abundant life, in the serenity of old age, and in the peace that comes at last.
We rejoice and we rejoice evermore.
We now turn to page 5 in our prayer books, and I invite Uncle Andy O'Connell to lead us in the responsive reading, It Matters That the World Knows.
It matters that the world knows we must celebrate the gift of life every day in some way, and we must always remember to play after every storm.
It matters that the world knows all children are truly blessed. It means that
It matters that the world knows we each have a song in our heart that can inspire us in good times and hard times if we take the time to listen.
It matters that the world knows our senses and thoughts discover and hidden and non-hidden and abundant.
It matters that the world knows we must choose our words and wants carefully, or we could forever hurt others with the most dangerous weapons.
It matters that the world knows strength and value of all things created.
It matters that the world knows we must heed the valuable lessons of everyday life through the celebration of children and heart songs, sense and words, or we could lose in our journey to the future.
It matters that the world knows first defining and being existed, response to it, and eternal mindset, to become peacemaker for all, sharing the things that we all have.
Page 7, the time is now.
Time is now when you gather round. So bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. Don't need to hide, arms open wide. We gather as one to make Makom Kadosh. We come to turn
Anybody know what it means? You've heard it, but you don't know what it means. Okay, Shekhinah is actually a very interesting word in Hebrew. It is the female vision of God. And when we think about God, we always think that God's a guy up there in a white robes and a long beard, or however we think of God, Santa God, or however we think of God. But we often don't think of God having feminine characteristics. But Shekhinah is the Hebrew word for the image of God as a woman. Don't really know quite what God looks like, but it's really nice that we have a woman having a bat mitzvah, we have a woman leading the service, we have a woman singing. So it is nice that we have that whole feminine idea of God in our ceremony today. Another thing I like to say is that more than anything else in the world, Jewish people like to skip pages. So we're going to turn to page 10 in our prayer books. I just want to tell you a little bit about the service. Our service is divided up into 4 sections. The first part of the service is what we believe in as Jewish people. What do we believe in? We believe in one God. We believe that belief in one God unites us all as Jewish people, but also connects us to everyone in this room, everyone in the world. That oneness of God is the oneness that connects us all. And we say the prayers, the Shema and the Ahavta, as an expression of those beliefs. The second part of our service is called the Amidah. This is the part of the service where we rise. It's the standing part of the service. And in the Amidah, during the week, it's a much longer part of the service where we can ask God for health, we can ask God for protection, we can ask God for prosperity. But because it's Shabbat, because it's our day of rest and also God's day of rest, we ask God for peace, we ask God for healing. And in the introductory part of the service, we introduce ourselves to God and we reconfirm our covenantal relationship with God, our partnership with God. The third part of our service is what we learn, and we learn from God's teaching. And guess who our teacher is today? Raise your hand. Okay, there she is. Our teacher. So today, Leah's going to chant from the Torah, and then she's going to teach us what she learned from studying the Torah. So our third part is the Torah service. And our fourth part is what we hope for. And I would imagine that if I asked just about everyone here, what is the one thing that we hope for all of humanity, we would say peace, right? So the Aleinu and the Mourner's Kaddish are the expressions of that hope for one day when we will all be united under one belief system. There will be no more war. So as we turn to page 10, I ask you to rise as that same tune comes around again.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie.
The next prayer in the middle of page 10 is called the Ma'ariv Aravim. This is the evening prayer of creation. It tells us that the world is created and recreated every day. Now Leah will read the last line of the Ma'ariv Aravim.
Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim.
At the bottom of page 10, we all read together. Let us bless the source of life, source of darkness and light, heart of harmony and chaos, creativity and creation. We remain standing as we turn to page 11 for the Shema.
There is one, 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 there is one. Yalla lie, 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 yalla lie, lie, lie. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. The next prayer in the middle of page 11 is called the Ve'ahavta. This is a prayer that actually comes from the Torah. Some prayers come from the Torah, but most don't, but this one does. And it's a prayer that tells us that not only do we have to have that belief in one God, but that we have to pass our beliefs on to our children. We have to pass our values on to our children. Hopefully our grandchildren, maybe if we're even lucky to our great-grandchildren. And that the values that we have, that we possess inside of us, our morals, we have to practice them whether we are in our home or whether we're out or whether we're in business. We have to be very consistent in our moral beliefs. So now Leah is going to chant the Ve'ahavta in the traditional cantillation.
ואהבת אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בפשיטך בביתך ובבתך בדרך ובשפעיו ובקומך ובקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו תותפות בין עיניך ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 13.